The Cheating Death Podcast is a comedy, random, and truth-seeking podcast containing information, subject matter, language, and course material that may not be suitable for all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised, and if you have any concerns, email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we discuss Operation Condor, a CIA clandestine affair that meant to suppress the right-wing groups in some South American countries. We also provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a joke of the episode, and more. So, dear listener, grab your coffee, wrap yourself up in a blanket, put your feet up on the table, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Long gone are the days where international clandestine affairs were kept secret and covert. We have now entered a time to where not only the internet, but also very capable individuals in whom are able to find information without being provoked, have led us to a lot of great discoveries. Life is not one of those types of existences and or things we mention when we consider conspiracies. No, what we think about is how the human who created the idea or the notion, how they function, how they exist, how they sleep at night. These are all questions that come into play when especially formulating any international geopolitical affair. But it is up to you to decide how you feel. Remember, there is no end. And today, this has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this was your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, eine gute Nacht ist deine Reisende, deine Ausländer, deine Allesfresser, deine Cleric of Chaos. We've discussed many a conspiracy/CIA operation that turned out to be true on this program. Today's discussion leads us to parts of South America which have been ravaged for decades, only for the CIA and the United States government to try to come in and take over the place. Operation Condor was a clandestine operation specializing in the surveillance of right-wing extremist governments in South America. Obviously, a bunch of these related but not necessarily exclusive to. We got Cuba, we got Colombia, we got El Salvador, and of course they're taking into account St. Vincent and the Grenadines, also talking about Nicaragua and many other nations within Latin America. The idea and the notion behind Operation Condor was that the United States government and the CIA had every intention to infiltrate and take over these governments in the name of national security. So it's a little bit of a oxymoron, don't you think? Especially when America's constant excuses for national security, yet they constantly put the national security of other nations at risk. Does it align with Donald Trump's America First statement or edict? No, absolutely not. What it identifies with specifically is the notion that America still believes it is the strongest and the most powerful and the most important nation on the planet. This is far from the truth. One of the only reasons why the presidency of the United States is considered the most important job in the world is because everybody watches how much that person will make a fool of themselves or how badly they're going to butcher economic relations between international conglomerates. We have to look at it from the perspective of why would somebody try to do this to another human being or to another group of people. And it's simple. It's one word. Power. That's it. And if you want to add another one, it's control. The notion that the United States of America and the CIA in the 1960s with Operation Condor led to a point to where they were capable of identifying specifically what the exact threat was, only providing a blanket of umbrella statements and information that would not necessarily be privy to the justification of invading a land. We need to understand that when we look at Operation Condor specifically, the acts and the methods utilized by the CIA to infiltrate these countries, to remove their heads of state from power, it brings back horrible, horrible memories to what at that time would have occurred approximately 25 years later with the fall of the Shah in 1979 in Iran, and how up until that point, Iran was pretty much a modernist nation. And now you have people fighting in the streets over the most ridiculous of things. Iran was bombed in June, and yet no one talks about it. No one seems to care that tons of citizens were displaced, that a lot of people were left without a home, that sometimes people were left without their jobs. The affairs in which these governments and agencies carry out are nothing more than methods of control, methods of beating one into submission. But it is also clear. One of the reasons why we don't know about the vast majority of these things is because we would more than likely revolt. There would more than likely be a legion of people heading to the fucking headquarters in Quantico, Virginia. So, in the name of national security, the United States government and the CIA spied on and attempted to overthrow numerous governments in South America in the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s. They did not succeed. There are still a lot of issues with South America to this day, but a lot of it have everything to do with how the United States stuck its nose where it didn't belong. Venezuela right now is a disaster, and there's a $50 million bounty on Nicolas Maduro's head. How did it get that way? Simple. Venezuela, being one of the most beautiful countries on the planet, and the people being some of the kindest people, they fell victim to the American way, the notion that America was going to help them out. But now, America considers individuals from Venezuela as persons of concern, individuals of danger, and it has been so that long after the years of Operation Condor, it appears that the current American government is still very, very hesitant to let anyone in from these countries, regardless of their skills, regardless of their capabilities. And this is how we have to be better people. We have to stand up for those in whom have no voice. We have to take care of those around us when things start to get a bit tricky. But what you must do is just take one day at a time. What are your thoughts on Operation Condor? You have any potential ideas as to what they could have done differently? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. At the top of the program, we promised you another top 5 list. So today, our top 5 favorite holiday store snacks. Coming in at number 5, we of course have the Pillsbury Reindeer Cookies. Coming in at number 4, we have the Frosty the Snowman Cookies. Coming in at number 3, we have the Little Debbie's Christmas Tree Chocolate Cakes. Coming in at number 2, we have the Vachon Joe Louis Christmas Special. And of course, coming in at number 1, we have the Chocolate Chip Christmas Cookie. What is your favorite holiday snack? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. They say an apple a day tends to keep the doctor away. That's especially true if you're firing that apple outside of an M16. Operation Condor was one of the most brutal and inhumane surveillance campaigns that the CIA and the United States government ever carried out, all in the names of national security, and all because they didn't agree with a right-wing leader or two. We must understand that these types of situations, these types of operations, they still take place to this day, and only in 20 to 30, maybe even 50 years from now will we understand the full plight of this time. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourself and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast has been brought to you by Nach dem Leben CRDVC, Chaos Storm Records, and CR Deutschland. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so at the links in the episode's description below, and please follow our friends, consultants, and producers at the links in the episode's description below as well. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, please call 1-800-273-8255 or dial 988 from your mobile phone in the United States or Canada. If you're experiencing domestic violence, call 1-800-799-7233. And if you're looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. And please follow us at twitter.com/whalecheatdeath, twitter.com/clericofchaos, or email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Remember, life is beautiful in so many ways, but it does have the tendency to get a little bit tricky. The very best you can do is just be yourself. Remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.